you've heard AI talked about, but until this moment, you haven't seen a panel dedicated to it. And we really have a fabulous panel. We thought long and hard about how to do an AI panel of substance that just wouldn't waste your time laundry listing some products that you'll never use. And so we brought Anthony Garcia from the AI Collective and a panel of experts to really dig deeper into the enterprise part of the equation and how you start to integrate AI into your enterprise workflow. So here's Anthony. Here's Anthony. Here's Anthony.
Hello, everybody. So let's let everybody else come to the stage. How's everybody doing? All right. Good afternoon. As you heard, my name is Anthony Garcia, and I am your host for the AI Challenge, Building Enterprise AI Media. As y'all know, AI is moving extremely fast, and we are seeing amazing things happen in video with enterprise organizations. But the challenge isn't just what AI can create; it's how to bring these tools into production workflows that's scalable, secure, and manageable. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What's working, the biggest challenges, and what enterprise video teams should be looking for when they're adopting AI. I'm joined by Henry Cowling, Global Chief Innovation Officer at Monks, Adi Sideman, CEO of Popcorn.co, and Katya Stewart, AI Lead and Senior Strategy and Accounts Manager at LinkedIn. And before we go into a discussion, I'd love to quickly go down the line and have everybody introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what they're doing in this space. Again, my name is Anthony Garcia. I am a marketer. I have worked for brands like Amazon, Google, Apple, Walmart e-commerce, Stanford. I also am an advisor to the AI Collective. We're the largest global AI community out there. We have over 30 chapters in, we have over 100 chapters in 30 countries globally, over 500,000 members, and I'm bringing the creative AI community to the organization. I've also just taught and developed a course for UC Berkeley in AI design and media. That's a little bit about me. We'll go next to Henry.
Thanks, Anthony. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us. I'm Henry Cowling, Innovation Officer with Monks. We help enterprise clients with AI marketing transformation. Are we going to play the video, or should I?
We'll just go let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll go into the videos.
Thanks, Henry. Hi, everyone. My name is Adi Sideman, and I run Popcorn.co. It's an AI showrunner that co-writes, co-directs, and produces for you, and continues to produce based on your briefs, your Bibles, your digital twins, microdramas. The world exists once, and it can produce each episode with the same actors, the same sensibility, financial institutions, quarterly reports. They used to be in PDFs. Now they can be movies that normal people can watch. Every product in your SKU catalog can now have a video, all based on your brand, your logos, your sensibilities, what you like to say, what you don't like to say, etc. So that's the short of it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katya Stewart. I'm an AI lead and senior strategy and account manager at LinkedIn. My focus for the last several years have been in testing AI tools specifically for video. And also recently I've started building my own tools with AI-assisted coding that is solving our specific production needs. Excited to be here.
Thank you. So before we get into the panel discussion, we are going to actually see some videos that have been produced with AI by some of the panelists on, some of the people on this panel.
At 9 o'clock this morning, it appeared on every device on Earth.
Everyone received a different time, and no government, no scientist can tell us why.
Happening everywhere. It's vanishing.
So this is a video that one of my students created. She had very limited video production experience, and after 2 weeks teaching her workflows, the tools, she was able to create this trailer, and that's pretty cool for somebody who's not had a lot of media training. And so I guess I wanted to show that to kind of show you where it's at. And you know, she's an amateur, so just think about a professional using these tools and what we can do right now with AI. It's moving really fast, and that's just an example. So the first video is going to be Henry's video. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the video?
Thanks, Anthony. So apologies, it's a promo, but it's a promo for Monks.Flow, which is our customer enterprise solution, where we are unbundling marketing use cases of AI specifically for the marketing organization. So we recognize some of the complexity of enterprise adoption of AI, that a lot of the workflows need to fundamentally change, and so we've designed this software to facilitate that change across a marketing workflow, from data ingestion, analysis, strategy. It supports creativity, it supports content creation, media distribution, and optimization. So apologies for the ad, but roll the tape, please.
Relevance is won in minutes. Most marketing still moves in weeks. Monks.Flow is built for this reality, connecting intelligence, creation, and an orchestration in one continuous flow. It identifies signals as they emerge, turns them into insights, briefs, and brand-ready assets, brings them to market with speed, precision, and scale. This is not just faster output. It is a new operating model for growth. Fewer handoffs, lower cost, more output, faster execution, built around ownership and control. Your AI, your brand, your data, yours to direct. Marketing is no longer a sequence of disconnected activities. It is a live system. Monks.Flow is how it runs. Try it at monksflow.ai.
Did you want to say anything else about?
Go to monksflow.ai, check it out. If you're an enterprise marketing leader, I'll talk to you about some of the opportunities of using that platform.
Great. All right, next is Adi. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your video?
Sure. So what you're going to see, we build a studio that is managed by humans and staffed by robots, by agents. And so everything you're going to see here was created by these robots. The human in the loop is the governance, the Bible, the sensibility, the laboring over every minute detail of the world, of which secondary characters can appear or not appear, and all the rules. And everything you're going to see here is a small snippet out of mass scale production. So if it's a financial institution, every day it may be publishing multiple videos about different stock. Or if it's a microdrama, there's 50 episodes, you'll see a snippet from one episode. So just think about it as the robots are there to produce based on dynamic data.
Oberland isn't just lending. They took a direct stake. Most of the money is non-diluctible royalty funding.
I replaced my entire social media team with a tool called popcorn.co.
VidCon wrap-up time. Yeah, I'm Jim Louderback, and I had an incredible time.
Hold on. Wait, what is that?
That depends, does it not?
Yes, but what I meant was, is there a loud bang?
Nice. Would you like to say anything else about the video?
No.
Okay. All right, let's go next to Katya. And Katya is going to tell us about this video while it's playing.
That's right. So this is a very basic screen recording that I just did yesterday. This is the tool that I built myself in like, I don't know, 2 days. And I kept polishing it and getting feedback from our editors in terms of how to make it better. What it does is it does tech reviews of the videos automatically. My goal, right now, this video is 38 seconds long. The review process will take about 13 seconds. My goal is to get it to be able to review automatically for tech issues the sessions that we have, video sessions that are about 2 hours long, 3 hours long, in 10, 15 minutes. So it extracts, as you can see, there are 912 frames decoded. And what it does is it catches things that a tired editor or tired producer like me cannot catch, like sudden audio drop or very, very subtle audio color grading issues, or, for example, bad frames or jump cuts that are like really hard to spot because they're so tiny. So that's the goal, to get it to the place where it can actually review huge amount of footage.
Very nice. So you don't have to scrub the videos anymore? I don't have to. Scrub the video, watch them over?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, like, they have to watch it over and over and over again, and at some point you get so tired that sometimes you miss something, you know? It's like, if it's a 2-hour-long session.
Yeah, revision 23.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
V24, our
right,
favorite.
right. All right, now that we've seen some really cool stuff that was made with AI and how AI is being integrated, we're actually going to get into some really interesting questions on how to integrate AI into organizations and how are they actually being integrated. Just a first general question. Where is AI actually making the biggest difference in enterprise video? And we'll just go down the line, or whoever wants to jump in can jump in.
Sure. Well, in my view, and from what I'm seeing at least, right, it's capacity, first of all. So capacity in terms of expanding our capacity. And what I mean by that is that any large corporation, LinkedIn included, has about 20 years of video being reviewed, right? And there is feedback that has been submitted. What AI can do is to go and analyze all of that feedback if it's recorded. So we have to like scrap all of that, find like the patterns, for instance, and tell us, and prepare us for the work with a specific vertical within our business, or LOB within our business, that will tell us, okay, these guys actually pay attention to this, and these guys are paying attention to this, so pay attention before you send them your V2, for example. So that is an interesting thing that can actually increase the learning loop within the, improve the learning loop within the corporation, right? Because there is a lot of institutional knowledge and institutional memory that can be created with the help of AI and analytics on top of that. So that's a huge thing that I'm seeing as a huge difference. And then another thing that I'm seeing is this incredible apps, problem-solving apps that we're all building now, whether it's a camera assistant who is building now a teleprompter app with AI coding, or it's our head of post-production who just built this incredible captions check. Again, for sessions that are 2 hours long, this is great. I don't want to manually sit there and like, you know, nitpick to every single word and I don't know, letter and make sure that the punctuation is right. I want a tool to do it, so.
Yeah, just have a tool where can I find this copy, or where can I find this phrase, and it brings you right there, and you can.
Where can I find this clip?
Yeah.
Where did our CEO say this specifically thing 12 years ago?
Right, and then in seconds, boom. Yeah.
On the marketing side, what we're seeing is that organizations want to become media companies. They need to communicate. They need to communicate more than ever in order to cater to the algorithms. They don't necessarily have a content machine. They may have press releases. They may have, speeches that the CEO gives, et cetera, but how do you take that and turn it into an ongoing message that is in the world? And so effectively taking that data, taking that intellectual property and translating it into a video in the world, we see that as something that corporations are leaning into more and more, and especially coming from the marketing departments.
Do you have a use case that you can share with the audience?
We were talking before about an interesting one. It's a venture capitalist, and they want to put out thought leadership. And so each one of the partners is, has published many blogs and has been on many podcasts, and, some of them wrote some books and whatnot. And so digital twins were created of them, not just the appearance, but also all the knowledge, the experience, etc. And now each one of them is an expert in something, in energy or in medicine or whatever it is. And so there's an agent that every morning, literally at 6 a.m., searches for 6 stories that may be interesting for this partner to opine on. It emails it to them. They respond, I want to do number 3. They can read it. There's a link to the story, etc. And then a video appears of them literally explaining it, walking through it, interacting with it, and at a press of a button, that can be published. And the reason why it works is because it's not pretending not to be AI. It's very clearly AI. It's almost like their photorealistic self is moving within a metaphysical world that they're now explaining that is, full of icons and schematics and, interaction that's fun. And that disarms the viewer automatically and they accept it. So it's a really interesting use case.
How fast can these videos be produced?
15 minutes.
What you're not saying is the digital twin can now replace the partner as well.
You said it.
It has all their knowledge. I just echo some of what you were saying, Adi, about I don't think there's a company in the world that doesn't want to produce more content right now. Like I work specifically with the CMO, and every CMO I speak with is struggling with the speed of culture. It's sort of a cliche in the marketing industry, but it's true. The sheer volume of channels and the sheer pace, like the low cultural latency of any piece of breakthrough content. Like it used to be, if you did a Super Bowl commercial like 10 years ago and it was successful, it would give you a whole year of brand lift, and you could track that, you could measure that, had an impact on the market value of your company. And now it's disappeared from everyone's feeds by Tuesday. Right? Everything is accelerated, and the only real answer to that is we need to do more, we need to do faster, but we can't let the quality slip, and that's the sort of challenge that our clients are wrestling with. I think the opportunity of AI at a high level is that it's an unlock for that constraint that I think every company is dealing with. The risk of AI is this sort of reversion to the mean that you get with it. Like I'm sure we're all on LinkedIn, right? I quipped the other day that I think AI has sort of democratized the ability for everybody on LinkedIn to sound like AI. Like suddenly everyone in my feed has the same sort of tone of voice, is using the same very high contrast, antithetically constructed sentences, and I'm like, I know you don't talk like that, and I know you don't really think like that, but suddenly my whole feed is populated with AI content that all sounds vaguely the same. So I think the challenge from the marketer is how do we reap the upside of the deconstraining some of the content supply chain challenges while not entering the sea of sameness and the sea of slop where we're sounding the same as everyone else? How do we get actual craft at scale from the machine?
How do we?
Well, the answer that everyone gives is the humans in the lead and humans in the loop, right? And maybe I have a slightly provocative point of view on that, but I think that's the answer that everyone is comfortable with at the moment, is this idea that the human taste and human judgment is what is going to continue to differentiate the outputs of these machines. My personal point of view is we'll see. I think that has a limited shelf life. I think we're moving to a phase where the technology is frankly so powerful and so capable. I think there's a very fine line between a machine that's demonstrably intelligent and a machine that's able to be creative and able to have judgment and taste. And one of the things that we're helping our clients to do right now is start to encode their organizational taste and their organizational judgment into systems that are legible to agents, like we call them brandscapes, so that the agent is not just like, if I input the same prompt as my competitor, we both end up with the same piece of content. Like, that's what we want to avoid. So it draws from the knowledge base of everything that the company knows about how to produce content that is unique to them. There's a level of craft that's acceptable to their brand.
So for the moment, it's that human in the loop that really is going to
For
differentiate.
the moment.
Yes.
And I'm pro-human, by the way. I don't want to be tired of that brush.
That's a whole nother discussion. That's a whole nother
Yeah.
discussion. But right now, the human in the loop, definitely. That's what I'm hearing as well. Because it gets you 80% there, right?
Yeah,
But,
I think the AI gets you 80% there, and we still need creative people, right, to elevate it, absolutely, to differentiate it. But I think those creative people, their jobs are going to shift from making the individual artifact to making the system that can make 1,000 artifacts with a high level of taste.
All right. I'm going to switch gears a little bit. So how do organizations choose the right tools for their organization?
Well, I think the organizations should start with the problem, not with the solution. And very, very oftentimes, like organizations, start with the solution. Let's try this tool. Let's try this tool. Let's try it. We'll find the problem. We'll get there. Let's just look at this shiny, cool tool. Look at it. What it can do. But like, what can it do for me? What can it do for my team? How does it actually make our life easier instead of giving us another like 6 months of testing, adoption, procurement, legal stuff? You know, it's just like, does it really solve anything? I mean, it does look super cool. Will we ever use it, right? So I guess like, yeah, sorry for a long thing, but yeah, start with your actual problem.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and just to add to that, the actual problem is you want a business outcome. And today, the agents are getting better and better at actually delivering the business outcomes. So, you know, it's like, okay, generate me leads for my sales, or generate me meetings, or generate me sales. I mean, that's where it's moving. You know, generate a shot, or actually, I need a YouTube channel. So talk to it and get it. So the business outcomes is, I think, where this is heading.
And maybe just complicate it a little more, because it's not just what tool does the enterprise onboard, but also what are they building themselves, and what are they building for themselves in a way that's deliberate and structured and governed. And I don't know if this is happening in all of your companies, but certainly in my company, every day 2 or 3 people ping me and they're like, oh, I vibe coded a thing, and oh, I vibe coded another thing. And it's, in one sense, it's this great explosion of creativity and new productivity. In another sense, it's a whole new governance challenge and a whole new workflow challenge. I think one of the previous panels mentioned, a lot of the time we tend to gravitate naturally towards the same kind of use case, and you end up with 5 versions of the same solution, but none of them are real enterprise maturity. So that's the sort of challenge that I think any enterprise at the moment is going through, and the complexity of embracing this new tech shift that we're on, and the organizational change that entails. I think I'll echo Katya and Adi. I think the main factor is intent, and getting some level of leadership alignment around the use cases that you're trying to solve and the prioritization of those use cases, so that the steps that you're taking are visible and that they're governed, and that everyone can sort of see the roadmap that you're on as a company, instead of everybody in your company running off in 1,000 directions with their own individual ChatGPT accounts.
Yeah, what problem are we solving? What's the business outcome? Get alignment. And,
the basics, right?
Yes, and we're all still building the plane as we fly, you know, so it's really interesting. And we kind of touched on this already, but what's the biggest challenge for organizations when adopting AI for video production? Is it the technology, legal concerns, company culture, or something else?
Well, the challenge, the challenge, oh my God, with AI changes every day, as we all know, right? Especially, but right now, at this current moment, what I'm seeing, the challenge is we've built so many cool things. How do we share it? How do we deploy it securely? And how do we make sure that it's actually like helping? So that's one of the things that I feel like right now is a huge thing we're trying to tackle, like that teleprompter app, like my video reviewer app. Where do we get to the point where people don't have to download the zip file and unpack it on their own laptop to use it? So like, little thing, but like huge for us right now. That's a challenge.
You have a great cultural story about challenges.
Don't oversell it, dude.
No, I'm selling you. Go ahead.
What one was that?
We were talking before. I think that there's a huge amount of change happening, and that's always a challenge in the market. In big organizations, there's all kinds of people. There's politics, there's pro-AI, there's anti-AI, and that is a huge challenge. And so you're going into any organization as a vendor like us, and you're immediately tiptoeing because you don't know who's who and what's what, and the leaders of the organization are often tiptoeing. So I think that's just a systematic challenge that is just sign of the times that happens during change.
Yeah, I remembered it. Thank you. But yeah, I think the issue, like for me, the issue is cultural, absolutely, and I think AI is a lightning rod issue right now. Like, we'd be disingenuous not to say it, right? Like, I'm not here to just cheerlead for AI. Like I was saying, there are real risks to companies in particular of engaging with this technology, and they show up in culture at large. We've seen beloved brands like Coca-Cola and McDonald's fall afoul of some of those risks by putting out AI content that the internet responded very adversely to. But also they're internal. I saw a stat, I think it was from Gallup, that said 44% of Gen Z admit to silently sabotaging AI initiatives at work. And I'm old enough, you can probably tell, to live through several technology shifts. I've never lived through a technology shift that's had this much real pushback before and had this many like perception challenges before. And I think as business leaders, we shouldn't underestimate that. And that for me is the biggest challenge. If you're talking about adopting tools, you're necessarily talking about changing the function of the teams or the business units that are using those tools. And that means ultimately, if you're changing the function of your teams, you're redesigning how your company works. That means jobs are going to change. Some jobs are going to go away. Other jobs are going to be made. We don't know how that balance is going to play out, but we know there's an enormous amount of anxiety about it, and we need to have the leadership that has the empathy as well as the insight to deal with that anxiety.
Thank you. We have 3 minutes left. Let's talk about copyright, intellectual property, data security, and brand safety. And, I'm kind of curious about copyright. What was that?
The fun stuff.
The fun stuff, yeah. Anybody want to tackle that in 2 minutes?
I'll give you my 20-second take.
Okay.
So I just spoke about the risks. I also think there is the risk of not being aggressive enough. I think the enterprise in particular is a naturally timid animal. It's in the DNA of the enterprise to be cautious. And I think there is a huge risk in not taking risks at this moment. And yes, some of those risks could be intellectual property infringement, although I think a lot of the legal framework around that is mitigated these days, at least at the model level. Or there is the risk of building up tech debt from bringing on too many tools. But it's almost easier to start a new company from scratch and imagine how you would do the business that you're doing today with the tooling and the technology you have available today than it is to change the 7,000 person company that I find myself to be a part of today. And so I'd encourage people to have more of that kind of a mindset.
Yeah, and I think that Hollywood is a case in point in terms of that risk. And if you look at the traditional studios in decline versus the streamers that are, progressing, those companies that have, DNA of technology and are embracing this much faster are going to destroy those companies who are still, talking to their lawyers. And, that's just inevitable. And I think that's going to play out across, not just in Hollywood. It's whoever is not taking these risks that Henry's talking about is going to end up being defeated.
There you go. Embrace the technology. Well, there you go. I wish we had more time. This went by really quick. Let's give everybody a round of applause for the panelists.